Hey Kayla,
What?
wanna do a commentary together?
This is the millionth time you've asked. I said no. I don't do commentaries anymore. Not since the neo-pronouns video of 87.
That video was made in 2022.
You get my point.
Anyway, what if we do a commentary about the hit PBS kids show WordGirl?
Okay.
Wait, that's it? I don't even need to tell you what video we're commentating on?
Okay.
I have a feeling this co-op was a mistake.
Word up, it's WordGirl. Word up, it's WordGirl.
Before this commentary officially starts, I want to bring up something he says near the end of his video. Despite his critiques and confusion regarding the logic of the WordGirl universe, he goes on to say the following.
The city is oblivious, the police are infective, and the villains escalate over minor inconveniences. But maybe that's part of the charm, because underneath all that absurdity is a show that genuinely tried to make vocabulary cool, and somehow convinced us that an 11-year-old girl was the most competent person in an entire metropolitan arena. WordGirl doesn't make sense, and maybe it was never supposed to.
Which kind of makes this whole video pointless? This entire video is essentially him pointing out things that makes this show inaccurate to real world logic. Okay, so if that's part of the charm, what the fuck was the point of making this video in the first place? If you wanted to make a whole video on why the weird logic of WordGirl makes the show more charming or whatever, then why didn't you just do that? You could have maybe further expanded on this notion by, elaborating, but you don't. So this entire video is just you complaining about dumb shit and then saying, but it's fine, I guess. Well, with that out of the way, let's actually begin this commentary linearly.
If you grew up with PBS Kids in the mid to late 2000s, then you might know a thing or two about WordGirl, a show that mixes crime fighting with vocabulary lessons that ultimately save the day. The main character, Becky, may look like your typical slice-of-life 11-year-old girl, but when everyone turns their eyes away from her, she transforms into WordGirl! And somehow, her friends and family can't tell her and Becky apart. The Clark Kent effect in its prime, y'all.
That's literally the point, though.
He is so close to getting the point.
The show is meant to be satirical. There are examples of this in the episodes By Jove, You Wrecked My Robots and Two Brains Forgets.
So we have the same taste in footwear, so what?
Yes, that may be, but it's funny what else you realize when one thing falls into place. Like I realized that you and WordGirl are the same height, the same hairstyle and color,
Oh, that's ridiculous.
the same sparkling smile, the same ruby lips, the same... I realize I've said too much.
Look, I can prove Becky is WordGirl. Cheddar, delicious. For instance, how come you never see WordGirl and Becky in the same place? Salt, please. Oh, I know, because WordGirl is too cool to be seen with a geek like my sister?
Now, TJ, that's not nice.
Okay, then how can they look so much alike? Same height, same weight, same face.
Ew, they don't look anything alike.
TJ's right. WordGirl has that red outfit and cape. Becky has no cape. Hello?
Don't you find it odd that both WordGirl and Becky have identical monkey sidekicks?
Oh, that's ridiculous. Bob can't be a superhero sidekick. He's afraid of spiders. Or is that me?
It's you, dear.
Interesting idea, Doctor, but I'm afraid, you're quite mistaken.
Ha, ha, ha. Oh, am I?
Pointing this out as if it's not, literally the point of the trope. He does this kind of thing a lot in this video, be warned.
Time to go to jail, District Attorney Botsford.
Jail? But on what charge?
Disagreeing with me.
When I tell you this logic is absurd, I mean absurd. Because once you actually think about what's happening here, you'll realize this entire city is being protected by an 11-year-old with better critical thinking skills than every adult combined. Let's first talk about Eileen, the one girl who never shuts up about her birthday.
I'm 10 years old.
Her parents are never around throughout the entire show, and it's pretty obvious when you see just how much she's able to get away with. Whenever something doesn't go her way, she gets extremely angry and basically transforms into the Hulk. Probably the closest PBS could ever get into having a Hulk in one of their shows. While there isn't a specific condition for someone who obsesses over their birthday, it's commonly associated with narcissistic behavior.
It's kind of insane to try to diagnose a fictional 10-year-old with narcissistic personality disorder.
By this fuck-ass logic, every bratty kid has NPD. Are you kidding me?
Making themselves the center of attention, believing they're special when they're not, having a strong sense of entitlement, and completely losing it when their demands aren't met. We see this when she transforms after Violet refuses to give up her necklace.
These kinds of behaviors are relatively normal in children. Don't get me wrong, it's a bad habit and should be corrected, but it's not disordered. It's when this is applied to adulthood or late teenagehood when this becomes an actual disorder and not just a child being a brat.
Keep in mind, this is still a kid's show. Eileen's character was most likely made to teach lessons about selfishness and sharing and stuff. Also, keep in mind, she turns into a monster when she's being selfish. When she's being selfless, she shrinks back down.
It's incredibly strange that you're complaining about a villain for acting villainous. What is even your point here? That nobody's corrected her behavior? Tons of kids act like this in real life. Well, without the whole turning into the Hulk thing. I think. Did you ever turn into the Hulk when you were younger, Carrot?
Occasionally.
Oh, my mistake then. But the point is, this is just a hyperbolic version of real-life behaviors.
Hyperbolic? Your ass is not WordGirl.
You laughed for 3 minutes over the term nothing burger. I don't wanna fucking hear it.
I don't know, this may be a nothing burger, but
From the planet Lexicon, watch out, villains, here she comes!
Not only does she think every day is her birthday, she's also a thief. The police don't take her away since she's a child, but again, do the police really serve any beneficial purpose in the show?
The point is that the police don't do anything because they expect WordGirl to do all the work, which is basically just unpaid child labor, but what else do you expect from cops? Political views aside, this logic actually kind of makes sense there. They can just lounge around all day and follow the classic lazy cop trope if an 11-year-old is doing all the work for them.
they should call her WordGirl.
She then steals Bob and completely tortures him with
various devices,
which include dressing him up in girls' dresses and ruining his chance to have kids. Ouch. Then there's Reginald, the aggressively pretentious jewelry store owner.
Did you just say fucking pretentious?
He's not technically a villain, but he radiates disdain for anyone who doesn't meet his absurd standard of fancy. He treats his figurines like they belong in the Louvre and carries himself as though he personally created the Mona Lisa. This guy is so fancy, he's even allergic to barbecue sauce.
One thing I love about this video is how deep he's making this theme. Yes, there are some characters in this show that are decently complex, but Reginald and Eileen are not those characters. Some characters in this silly kid show just exist to fill a role.
He's acting so shocked about these very basic characters fitting these very basic and incredibly obvious roles, when none of this is even relevant to the thesis? Like, isn't this video about WordGirl not following real-world logic? The only relevant parts so far have been the part about WordGirl's identity and the part about the police. The rest of this is just you being upset that characters who are meant to come off as unpleasant are unpleasant. The whole part about Reginald and Eileen just kind of come off as padding with no actual point.
We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
In a two-part episode, The Wrong Side of the Law, WordGirl is accused of stealing his figurines, partially because she made the questionable decision to keep them instead of turning them in immediately. But here's the bigger issue. No one demands evidence. The accusation alone is enough.
If you found out your entire point was incorrect, just cut it out. Do you know how to edit?
Also, what the hell do you mean, let me know what you guys think? You were just objectively wrong. You said the police had no evidence when the evidence was her literally having possession of the stolen item. Is there really any room for discussion there?
In Royally Frame, she's accused again, this time by Royal Dandy, who literally plants evidence in front of everyone in broad daylight.
Oh, thank you.
Everyone, look! WordGirl stole all those knickknacks from the museum!
Me? I stole these knickknacks?
Whoa! She admits it!
Me? I stole these knickknacks? What? No! Well, that's not... He's blaming me for a crime he committed. I stole these knickknacks?
And not a single citizen questions it. How does an entire city fail at basic observational reasoning?
The whole city kind of has to come off as a little stupid for these kinds of satirical plot points and bits to work. And it's fine if that's not your thing and you want shows that are a bit more intelligent. However, you're watching a kid's show. Just keep that in mind.
It doesn't help that this show is meant to be satirical. Literally, IMDb uses that exact word to describe it.
Another villain is the Butcher, who steals meat.
No, he doesn't. He just steals money and valuable things. He just has meat powers. Get your WordGirl facts right.
Which is admittedly ridiculous, but I guess it fits the name. And Jerky Jerk, he steals a bacon collar that supposedly makes whoever wears it obsessed with meat the most powerful being in the world.
So what's this? It looks like an old piece of beef jerky.
It's more than that. It's the beef jerky of supreme power!
The museum curator claims there's no need for security because no one would be obsessed with meat.
That's not true either. It said that it would give anyone with meat powers supreme power.
Well, you see, the beef jerky of supreme power doesn't give its power to just anyone. Oh no, someone would already have to have had power over all meat products in order for the necklace to have any effect at all.
The Butcher then assaults.
That clip literally shows the Butcher creating meat with his hands. How did you get the impression that he stole meat?
There's meat coming out of his hands. I bet he stole that. Now, I wonder what his powers are.
An elderly guard with meat, and let me just say, whoever made that man keep working at his age deserves their spot in hell. That's what happens when you don't put in the resources to hire competent security guards under the age of 70. Now let's talk about Toby, the kid with a weird love-hate thing for WordGirl. In Toby's masterpiece, the class is told to draw a fruit bowl. Toby brags about how easy it is, and then fails to do it properly. Hypocritical at its finest, am I right?
That's not what hypocrisy means?
Hypocrisy is the act of engaging in behaviors, holding attitudes, or possessing qualities that contradict what you claim to believe, value, or practice. Like, for example, if Toby had criticized someone else for having a bad painting while having a bad painting himself.
Instead of asking the teacher for help, he has one of his robots try it for him. Because it was 2007 and AI wouldn't be prevalent for another 16 years. It instantly backfires when everyone sees him cheating in broad daylight. Which makes sense when you realize how small his classroom is.
Looks like you painted yourself into a corner, Toby.
Haha, very funny, Becky. At one point, he uses his robot in what he thinks will be mass destruction. And even ignoring the plot, where were the police?
This, similarly to earlier, isn't really relevant to the thesis of the video. Like, okay, yeah, Toby cheats on an art assignment and gets caught. So what? How does really any of this connect to the actual point you're trying to make?
Also, how the fuck do you expect the police to fight a giant robot?
You wanna know who could fight a giant robot? Or, I'm sorry, robot? WordGirl. Another reason why they wouldn't do jack or shit. Because they literally can't.
But here's the most glaring example of illogical logic in the entire show. Becky reveals she's WordGirl, and her parents don't believe her, which would make sense if WordGirl didn't look exactly like Becky. Same voice, same face, same everything.
Same taste in footwear? I thought we already addressed this.
I just can't take seriously that this person is unironically complaining about one of the most common satire tropes in media. Like, if it's not your cup of tea, that's fine, but you can't watch a show meant to satirize superhero tropes and be shocked when they use the Clark Kent effect. Like, at that point, you might as well just avoid the superhero genre altogether.
At some point, it stops being secret identity logic and becomes active denial. They don't even remember the day they found her in the forest.
We were discovered in the woods by a young couple.
Who?
Tim and Sally Botsford. You know, you and Mom.
Go on.
Don't you remember this part, Dad? You adopted me.
Rings a bell.
It's a bit. Also, they're supposed to be stupid and oblivious.
Also, if I can be a smartass, he technically did at least partially remember, considering he said it rang a bell.
What kind of parent forgets the first day they met their child?
And somehow, I've gone this entire video without mentioning the most powerful force in Fair City, the narrator.
Then he just shows a bunch of clips of the narrator breaking the fourth wall, which, like, considering you don't elaborate on this in the slightest, you're literally just saying, the narrator breaking the fourth wall is illogical. Which, yeah?
Bitch, them having a narrator is illogical.
Not only that, but like, no shit? Is that really something you had to say?
You know what? That was surprisingly fun.
I know, right? So, you gonna join the CC?
No.
Oh, okay. Damn. Are you at least gonna do an outro?
Good night and good luck.
Hey, you can't just steal another guy's thing. Whatever. God, I hate that guy.